Boom, boom, boom. Give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna try and get this this right for what we're doing here. Boom, 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 because I'm also gonna go live on Facebook at the same time. So what's going on, everybody? This is Matt coming here live from DNR Auto with your tech tip for today. Today specifically, we're gonna talk about Jeep Flywheels. For any of you guys that have a Jeep, typically we do a lot of Jeep Wranglers here. So anybody with a manual transmission who's looking at having their clutch replaced, we want to talk about flywheels and why it's important. The reason it's important is, a standard flywheel procedure when you change out a clutch is to, clean or go ahead and have the flywheel taken off and sent out to be machined, to be cut. So first we're going to talk about the flywheel itself and some things to look for. Ooh. So here we've got customer's flywheel. And as you can see from the excessive markings here, we've got excessive heat, excessive cut into the flywheel. So this just came off of a customer's vehicle, and it's actually on a lift getting the trans put back in it right now. But you say, well, why is the trans getting put back in it right now and the flywheel's in your hand? Well, as you can see, this flywheel here has excessive heat and excessive cutting, excessive damage. And the standard procedure is to go ahead and take this flywheel off, go ahead and send it, have it sent out and have it machined down and have the surface redone. But this is where we get into some specifics with Jeep only. It may be applicable for other makes and models, but we know we run across this with certain Jeep Wranglers. Specifically, like I know this applies to TJs. So in that year time frame, that's something to be, something to be looked at. I know it may apply for other years and everything else. This one specifically for today's purpose, this is out of a TJ, and I know it applies to TJs. Where it gets interesting is standard procedure is usually to go ahead and clean this off or go ahead and have it sent out and machined. When you pull up Chrysler's information, now this is direct from Chrysler's service bulletin, it will give you a section in here that says caution, and I'm going to read this word for word. It says, caution, do not attempt to machine a dual mass flywheel. Only light scuffing and cleaning as described above is permitted. Excessive stock removal can result in flywheel cracking or warping after installation. It can also weaken the flywheel and interfere with proper clutch alignment or proper clutch engagement. So with that being said, I know a lot of folks are like, hey, I'm redoing my clutch, let me go ahead and take the flywheel off, let me go ahead and get that cut. And 9 times out of 10, the person you send it to isn't really going to care. All they're going to hear is, hey, I need to cut this flywheel, so they're going to go ahead and cut it down and do what they normally do. But you cannot do that on these. So with that being said, with the amount of excessive wear on this one, we just went ahead and replaced it. I think the flywheel was about $100, somewhere in that ballpark for the one we use specifically, but there's other ones out there. But it's important information to know because either number one, as a do-it-yourselfer, it's definitely important to know, and number two, repair shops, need to know this because the information is out there. You just got to look for it. So the reason behind this all is because if you go ahead and cut that flywheel, and then now you have problems with proper clutch engagement and everything else, you're going to be chasing your tail forever wondering why this is happening. Well, the reason why is it's probably not that you installed the clutch wrong, or probably not that something went wrong there. It's that too much was taken off the flywheel and it shouldn't have been. So generally speaking, when we do clutch replacements here, we take a look at the condition of the flywheel itself. If it appears to be in good condition, this one is obviously pretty bad off. The reason why on this one is, not only the damage, but it's actually worn a groove into it, and at that point it just becomes useless to us. But it's important to know that when you do this, a light cleaning, what we'll typically use is like a Brillo style pad or a Scotch-Brite pad or something. A nice cleaning and scuffing just to get the surface right. If it looks good after the cleaning and scuffing, go ahead and reuse it. If not, you've already got the trans out, you've already got the clutch out. It's a great time to replace the clutch or the flywheel because you are replacing the clutch. So that's a little tech tip for today. We talked about the flywheels and Jeeps and why you cannot go ahead and have them cut and machined. Very, very important. A lot of folks just don't know. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but maybe not everybody has access to Chrysler, technical service bulletins. I think they should be on the internet by now, but unless you need to know, you may have never looked. So make sure you guys go ahead and check the flywheel surface. A light cleaning. Like I said, we use, just like a little Brillo pad, a little Scotch-Brite pad. Just go ahead and clean it up and make sure it looks nice, and make sure that there's no excessive heat damage or excessive grooving or anything else. And if there is, do not get it cut. Go ahead and have it replaced, because if you go ahead and get it cut, you're going to be dealing with problems later on down the road. You're not going to know why. You're going to be beating your head off the wall, and it's not going to make any sense. So that's your tech tip for today about Jeep clutches and flywheels, specifically the flywheel section of that. And thank you guys for tuning in.